Right, quick short video featurette on an indicator issue I had with my L200. It's a K74, I don't know, 2004 animal. Now basically, excuse the dust in here, I was towing and I went down to Devon and basically the indicators stopped working. Now they're working today, but there's no way was I getting any voltage at all through the hazard circuit or the indicator circuit. They'd either flash once and then do nothing, or they would not do anything at all, or they would flash erratically. Now, obviously this is a bit of a pain in the backside really, because I'm towing and I've got a 200-mile journey to do. So I managed to do most of the journey with the indicators actually behaving themselves, but I had to do the last 50-60 miles in full Audi mode, basically with no indicators. So I just parked in lane 2 and just poodled along in lane 2, so I didn't really have to move from one lane to the other. Now, basically the way there's not a huge amount of information out here. I need to clean this car, I know. There's not a huge amount of information around and about, but I do know that the hazard warning switch cuts the power to the indicator column, so the indicators will not work if the hazard warning switch is depressed. And this is quite a common way to wire these things in. So basically the power goes to here first. If the switch is off, the power then carries on to the indicator stalk with the ignition on. If the switch is depressed, then there's no power goes to the indicator stalk. Before it goes to the actual lights themselves, there is a flashing unit. Now, because I wasn't getting anything, or I was getting an intermittent kind of failure, there's no handbook in this car. It's probably around somewhere, but I don't have it in the car, so I'm stuck halfway home. I'm really trying to fathom this out. Now, I've got to the bottom of this. There's a gent on YouTube, Fast in the Corners, and he's got exactly the same problem on his Mitsubishi L200. I think his was a worry. His kind of, he had leather seats and all sorts of shit in his. This one's all cloth, poverty spec dust. But anyway, I started out thinking, well, let's get the hazard switch out. Now, really, you could kind of do that just by pulling the dash out around here. There's a couple of screws up there. Pull the dash out, get to the back of the hazard light switch. You're wasting your time. Don't do that. Instead, down in this area down here, pull this piece of trim out. It's literally it falls out, and then I put the torch on. Up here behind the fuse box, which is very conveniently hidden, you'll see a blue relay, and above the blue relay you'll see a black relay. That's the flashing unit. Now, I pull the flashing unit out. It's a fairly common, beautifully accessible, I must say, folks. Mitsubishi, this is outstanding. The two little connectors on the back there are for the towing telltale up here. And this flashing unit, these guys have been silent all morning, and as soon as I start videoing, they make a little noise. Right, so this particular flashing unit here is designed for, it's a 2+1 flashing unit. It's a tree mass, it's heavy duty jobby for towing and so forth, but the problem we've got here is that this was not working. Now, since I've taken it out, I've got it working, that's fine. What you can do, and I'm going to keep this in the glove box now, make up a little jump wire, and what you're really looking to do is to bridge 87, is it 87? What are you talking about, Richard? You've got a bridge, it's probably easy to look at the circuit here, 49 and 49A. There's 49, there's 49A. So we're going to bridge those on the socket itself. Now the socket, like I say, it's quite inaccessible, but it's tucked up there. So if I bridge this using the jumper wire now, I'll show you what that does. So there you can see, I've shoved the jump wire into the top spade and the sideways spade on that relay position. I probably could make life a little bit easier by removing the box, but that's just going to enter it into a world of different issues, isn't it? So I've bridged those two. Now, when I push the hazard warning switch, they just go on and stay on static. Okay? So by doing that, all I've done really there is prove the fault lay within that box. Okay, just makes life a shitload easier on you then going around chasing wires and so forth. Now the only thing that I had done with this was to tow a trailer. So it's put some load on this. However, taking it out and pushing it back in again has fixed the problem. So I'm just wondering if really it's just a case of the pins aren't particularly good and therefore it's going a bit high resistance. Could just be that, you know, taking it out and dropping it on the floor has enabled it to work. Yeah, I think is the long and short there. You just put it back together again and it's misbehaving already. So, every now and then, when I put the hazard lights on, it will flash. There we are, it's gone off. So, switch is on, no indicator, no flasher. Turn it off, turn it back on again, nothing. And then it works once. So the flashing unit is at fault here. So I am going to change the flashing units. I'll show you how I do that. It's exactly the same way as Fast in the Corners does it. So I'll just make up a little loop and I'll show you how that works. Right, I'm coming to the workshop because the guys are making too much noise outside. But basically, I did get another flashing unit. What you need to be aware of, as Fast in the Corners has already observed, is that the orientation of the pins is different on these kind of like replacement flashing units. Just go under the light over here. So basically what we've got is, if you look at the base of the main, you know, the original flashing unit here, we've got the 3 different ports. It's probably easy to look at the diagram. 31 is always earth, 49A I think is the switch, 49 is the positive feed, and on this one here we have got, looking at the diagram, we've got the live, we've got the earth, and we've got the live feed. So that's the switch, the live feed, and the earth. And you'll notice that the earth is on opposite sides. So this isn't exactly going to be a plug and play. The terminals look to be the same, and certainly it would fit into the slot, but the earth is on the wrong side. So like Fast in the Corners had to do, you're going to have to make yourself a mini loom of spade connectors ready just to hang it in there. So I've used an old relay kind of block and fed some wires into the base of it, held it all together with a zip tie there. Used some colour coding here to make my life a little bit easier. So the black is on the earth side, the red and the brown are on the live and the switch side. Just a case now of installing this and see if it works. So I'm going to go and do that. There's no point to me videoing it because the camera will be in the way of everything else. I'm going to get stormy today as well, so I'll get this done. So try this out now. Ignition on. What indicators are working? That's good. And hazards. Fabulous. Right, the next thing I need to do is to sort out this, the 4-wheel drive indicator. We're not in 4-wheel drive, but for some reason the 4-wheel drive indicator is suggesting otherwise. So that's my next thing to fix.